During a very busy time of the day, Marilyn Monroe brought a photographer with her into Grand Central Station in New York City. People were everywhere, yet no one seemed to recognize one of the most famous people in the world at the time. She boarded a train and quietly rode to the next station without anyone noticing. Marilyn Monroe wanted to prove a very valid point. What Monroe wanted to show was that just by deciding to, she could either be glamorous Miss Monroe or plain Norma Jean Baker, her real name. On the subway, she was Norma Jean, but when she resurfaced onto the busy New York sidewalk, she decided to turn into Marilyn. So she looked around and she teasingly asked the photographer, "So do you want to see her?" The Marilyn. And then he said there were no grand gestures. She just fluffed up her hair and struck a pose. And yet, with this simple shift, she suddenly became magnetic. An aura of magic seemed to ripple out from her, and everything stopped. Time stood still, as did the people around her, who stared in amazement as they suddenly recognized a star standing in their midst. Make no doubt, Marilyn Monroe had beauty by her side, but she wanted to prove that charisma is something you create, not something you're merely born with. Your goal here is to find the Marilyn Monroe inside of your Norma Jean Baker, but you have to work to find it. Keep in mind, however, that you need to be a little brave. Developing charisma is a process that involves looking at things you do under a microscope. You might not always like what you see, but don't beat yourself up over it. If you keep your expectations in check, you'll be able to identify the behaviors you need to adjust. Remember, you're not changing who you are as a person. You're only changing the way people perceive you by fine-tuning your outward communication. What comes to mind when you think of charisma? For me, I think of the leader who possessed charisma. People such as Muhammad Ali and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., even artists like Beyonce and Lady Gaga. Charisma is a must-have if you're going to lead effectively. First, we need to understand that charisma is not just about having this natural charm that some people naturally possess to draw in people. Rather, charisma refers to a leader's ability to inspire followers with commitment and passion. Great leaders are not special people because they're able to accomplish great achievements, but they are ones whose dedication and commitment to overcome any obstacles that will prevent the group from achieving their desired goals. Leaders get people to feel a sense of shared ownership in their vision and goals because they understand that with their help, they are aiding to make the lives of those around them better. Leaders help their followers move closer to their goals, or they give the group less to worry about because they understand what they need. There's something about charismatic leaders. They seem to command a room without even trying. People are drawn to their energy and feed off their lively personalities. They're pleasant to be around. Why, you might ask? Because charisma makes you likable. No matter your situation in life and your individual aims, one of the most important tools for your success is your personal charisma. Charisma is what allows you to command a room, draw others to you, and influence people of your ideas. It is an essential part of being the kind of leader who wins devoted followers who are willing to go wherever you are willing to take them. Charismatic leaders are perceived as both likable and powerful, a dynamic combination that opens endless doors to them. Charisma may not seem like a genetic quality, something that some people are born with and some are not. But that's not the case. You don't need to have hit the genetic charisma lottery in order to develop yourself into a leader with powerful attraction. There are many ways you can demonstrate charisma, one of which is listening with intent. When most people think of a charismatic leader, they think of their ability to talk and interact with others. I think it's hard to be good at this, and with this fast paced world we live in, good listeners are hard to come by. So, to me, A charismatic person is someone who listens with intent and makes you feel as if your thoughts are valued. Another is being relatable. Make your conversations relatable to those you're speaking with. Use stories that position you as an average person in whom others can see themselves. Use mirroring techniques, such as using the same words and terminology as the other person uses, and try to find the common ground with everyone you talk to by asking the right kind of questions. In conclusion, leaders are not leaders without charisma. Give more than you take. Charismatic leaders enhance and enrich the lives of those around them. When you genuinely offer to help someone else, they will particularly be fond of you. We are drawn away from the self serving to those who serve others first before themselves. Give more than you take, and you'll be well on your way to becoming a more charismatic leader. Most important trait to me of charismatic leaders are their sense of humor. Humor, humor, humor. If you have the confidence to try and succeed in making the other person laugh, you have them in your pocket. Funny and charismatic go hand in hand since the beginning of time. Thank you.